This evening, Minister of Public Security gives update on Camp Street prison riot. President Granger toasts the nation of Argentina. Speaker of the House chastises parliamentarians. In the region, in Brazil, former President Lula da Silva has been charged with corruption. And internationally, more links revealed between U.S. President Donald Trump and Russia.
From Safe TV headquarters in South Bramford Gardens, this is Safe TV Headline News with George Gonzalez.
Headline News is now being streamed live on our YouTube channel. Join us. If Minister Kemraj Ramjatan has his way, the $1 million given to police who die in the line of duty would also go to the family of the slain prison officer Odinga Wickham. At the most recent press conference held by the minister, he also decided to reverse one of the ministry's long-held policies. Also, as we will hear from Wendell Jeffrey, the public will now have the names of all released prisoners in connection with the recent prison fire.
At a press conference held at the Ministry of Public Security in connection with the evolving prison situation, Minister Kemraj Ramjatan faced many tough questions from the members of the media corps. The minister and second vice president said that there is a benevolent fund of $1 million that usually go to police officers who get killed in the line of duty. He said that he will seek Cabinet's permission to offer a similar amount to the family of Odinga Williams, the officer who died from injuries sustained in the recent prison outbreak.
Look, we have an ex gratia payment of $1 million to policemen that die in the line of duty. And I think a very meritorious case can be made here for prison officer Wickham, to be paid that amount. I will persuade my cabinet to give the family members that.
Just a follow-up.
In a follow-up question, the minister was asked if after 10 years, that $1 million figure would remain the same, and if he had any intentions of reviewing that amount.
I don't think so because of the fact that the state of our finances.
Addressing the reasons for the successes of not losing any more lives, not having more escapees, managing the huge crowds, and curtailing the hundreds of inmates, Director of Prisons Gladwin Samuels attributed all this to the Guyanese spirit of collective voluntarism.
I think that is the spirit of Guyanese. In times of crisis, we come together. There are so many ex-prison officers out there, ex-directors, ex-superintendents, ex-ordinary prison officers, even retired police that I know. So the support was very much forthcoming, and again that resulted in the successes we managed to achieve tonight.
When asked if anything could have been done to prevent the inferno that brought down the Camp Street prison, Police Chief Silal Prasad said that he does not think so.
There have been a series of searches of these prisons over and over, all the time, and that's a huge action to prevent these things from happening. Finding weapons, finding items that they are not authorized to have, and so on. And as Mr. Samuel said, for the last decade, these rumors and information about prison breakout, that seems to be getting more and more frequent. So much so that you can't put an enhanced situation in place or response in place every day.
George, in a desire for full disclosure, the Ministry of Public Security is reversing one of its policies. The minister has agreed to provide the public with the names of all the inmates who have been recently released by the magistrates. The authority is noting that these are not convicted prisoners and their crimes have all been non-violent. For Channel 2 Headline News, I am Wendell Jeffrey.
Thanks, Wendell. A reception held at the Marriott last evening marked the 201st anniversary of the Declaration of Independence of the Argentine Republic. President David Granger used the occasion to celebrate the close ties between Guyana and that country since the establishment of formal diplomatic ties on October 6, 1972.
Guyana expresses its appreciation for the support provided by Argentina in arts, in defense, in education, in health, in sports, and other fields. We look forward to continued cooperation with Argentina. Guyana and Argentina continue to collaborate within regional institutions such as the Union of South American States, UNASUR, the Common Market of the South, Mercosur, and the Community of Latin American and Caribbean States, CELAC, the Organization of American States.
Toasting to continued strong bilateral relations, President Granger conveyed Guyana's appreciation in Argentina's support of Guyana in the areas of renewable energy, the exploitation of its forests in a sustainable manner, and restoration of lands damaged by irresponsible farming, logging, and mining. President Granger lauded the commonly held values of peace, cooperation, and mutual respect of sovereignty. The president also expressed the desire to preserve the 40-year-old relationship between the two nations. Don't go away. Coming up on Headline News after the break. Speaker of the House gives parliamentarians a tongue lashing, and police investigate mysterious death.
Sometimes there's just too much information to keep up with when you're pregnant. What you should and should not eat, what kind of exercise is right for you, how to handle mood changes, even how to determine when it's time for delivery.
Don't let your pregnancy be a burden. Watch The Baby Story on Safe TV Channel 2 every weekday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Now you can know all you need to know from conception to delivery when you watch The Baby Story on Safe TV Channel 2.
Welcome to Kissoon's Furniture. Find everything you need for your home and more under one roof in our newly decorated showroom. Our locally crafted furniture has been perfected over the last 60 years. From our hands to your home. We also bring to you our newly introduced lines of imported furniture and Sleep Center, where you can find a wide range of beds and mattresses. Kissoon's Furniture, furnishing homes for over 60 years.
Want to see the Amazon Warriors live and win tickets to the greatest cricket event of the year? Then show us your Warrior dance and you can win. It's easy. Check out our YouTube page, like the video, learn the moves, and upload your video for a chance to win.
GTT, proud sponsors of the Guyana Amazon Warriors. GTT, do more.
Styles, simply different.
I know who I am. I know who I am. I know who I am. I am yours. I am yours. I know who I am. Oh, I know who I am.
Only at Kissoon's can you get the guaranteed offer of up to 50% discount on every item in their blowout factory surplus sale. 50% off for Guyana's 50th anniversary right through the year. Check it out at their spacious factory outlet at Reinfeldt Industrial Park, where parking is no problem. They're in the mood to celebrate at Kissoon's. Once you want it, Kissoon's will make sure you don't leave without it.
Need a ride around town and beyond? Look no further than Oasis Ride Taxi Service. With affordable prices and some of the best drivers in the business, we've been delivering prompt and reliable service to Guyana for over 16 years. We also offer tours, chauffeur service, and even car rentals. You can call us at 231-5554 or 225-5496. For deals, specials, and more information, find our page on Facebook. Oasis Ride Taxi Service. Let's go.
Seems like people will try just about anything to lose weight these days. But nothing works better than proper dieting and exercise. So if you're guilty of eating the wrong foods, not finding time to exercise, or can't afford a gym, join Safe TV Channel 2 for Body and Spirit. Aerobics workout with Dick Nunez.
Hello, I'm Dick Nunez. Welcome to Body and Spirit Aerobics.
Weekday mornings from 7 a.m. to 7:30 a.m. Don't hesitate. Act now, because your greatest wealth is your health.
Police are investigating the circumstances surrounding the death of 73-year-old Chandruti Dionarine of Bushlot Village, West Coast, Berbice, whose body was discovered in a canal at Montrose, East Coast, Demerara, at about 7 hours this morning. Investigation revealed that the deceased, who was not enjoying the best of health, was staying at her daughter's home at Happy Acre, East Coast, Demerara. It was reported that sometime after 1 a.m., being in a state of hallucination, she ventured out of the home for an unknown destination. The body is at the Lichen Funeral Parlor awaiting a post-mortem examination. The behavior of the parliamentarians has gotten the best of the Speaker of the House, and in the last sitting of Parliament, he addressed the members directly. In this report, Wendell Jeffrey tells us that the intention of the Speaker's address was to revive the civility and decorum of the House.
Last meeting of the Parliament, the 6th to 7th sitting, saw the Speaker of the House, Dr. Bortland Scotland, opening the session with a very stern rebuke of the behaviors that he says is denigrating the high honor of the House.
By our conduct, we gave to the public, on whose behalf we claim to act, at best, a poor lesson in parliamentary decorum. Given that our conduct, which we sometimes display within the chamber, and in some instances, our conduct outside it, over the period of this Parliament, we have left our citizens to form other than the highest regard for our parliamentary conduct. Very early in our sitting, shortly after this House was fully, the disregard for our House is taking new forms. Recently, the Assembly formed the backdrop for a parody on what is known as Facebook. It was drawn to my attention by a member of the public. An honourable member took the Assembly viral, if I may copy the word used. Our predecessors left us a legacy of decorum and good practice for this House.
The Speaker was obviously displeased with how the conduct of the House is becoming constantly worse. He said that the forefathers of this country left us an exemplary lesson in decorum. He questioned what the current parliamentarian planned to leave their successors.
Our predecessors left us a legacy of decorum and good practice for this House. I ask, what shall we leave our successors?
Friday was the day that coincidentally saw members of the religious community dressed in their respective religious garb attending Parliament. They were there because they too were concerned that the decorum in Parliament seems to be slipping, and they believe that this does not augur well for the standard that needs to be maintained in that honorable house. In a prepared statement, the spiritual leaders said in part that as leaders, by our conduct, we give to the public on whose behalf we claim to act, at best, a poor lesson in parliamentary decorum. The Speaker said that he has been told that it appears that politicians are using the sitting of Parliament to settle scores with each other.
It seems, as one member of the public has put it to me, that honourable members have private scores to settle, and those are in inverted commas, and that they do so when they speak in Parliament. I put it to honourable members that they have a duty to venerate our institution, this noble house, and to give evidence of that veneration through their conduct as members of Parliament.
George, Headline News asked some folks what they thought of the newest development of the behaviors in Parliament. Many are of the opinion that the current parliamentarians are not cut from the same magnanimous cloth that our forefathers came from, and that asking them to behave in civil or in cordial ways is an exercise in futility. For Headline News, I am Wendell Jeffrey.
Thanks, Wendell. On Wednesday, the first meeting of minds who are part of the National Planning Committee met in the boardroom of the Ministry of Education, Department of Culture, Youth, and Sport on Main Street. There, with the Minister of Education, Nicolette Henry, as the chairperson in the presence of the National Events Coordinator, Lieutenant Colonel Godfrey Best, and Permanent Secretary Melissa Tucker, the team of new faces were treated to a proposed initial plan that may form the content of an enhanced Mashramani/Republic Day celebration for 2018. It was agreed by those present that the road to an early launching of the roadmap and schedule of events must begin soonest. As such, the first order of business is the selection of an appropriate theme to encompass all the activities. It was agreed that by July 31st, 2017, there should be a collection of submitted theme ideas from the public that would fashion a direction under which all activities will be hosted. Don't go away. Still ahead, we have our regional and international news.
Sometimes there's just too much information to keep up with when you're pregnant. What you should and should not eat, what kind of exercise is right for you, how to handle mood changes, even how to determine when it's time for delivery.
Don't let your pregnancy be a burden. Watch The Baby Story on Safe TV Channel 2 every weekday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Now you can know all you need to know from conception to delivery when you watch The Baby Story on Safe TV Channel 2.
Need a ride around town and beyond? Look no further than Oasis Ride Taxi Service. With affordable prices and some of the best drivers in the business, we've been delivering prompt and reliable service to Guyana for over 16 years. We also offer tours, chauffeur service, and even car rentals. You can call us at 231-5554 or 225-5496. For deals, specials, and more information, find our page on Facebook, Oasis Ride Taxi Service. Let's go.
Want to see the Amazon Warriors live and win tickets to the greatest cricket event of the year? Then show us your Warrior dance and you can win. It's easy. Check out our YouTube page, like the video, learn the moves, and upload your video for a chance to win.
GTT, proud sponsors of the Guyana Amazon Warriors. GTT, do more.
styles, simply different.
Seems like people will try just about anything to lose weight these days. But nothing works better than proper dieting and exercise. So if you're guilty of eating the wrong foods, not finding time to exercise, or can't afford a gym, join Safe TV Channel 2 for Body and Spirit. Aerobics workout with Dick Nunez.
Hello, I'm Dick Nunez. Welcome to Body and Spirit Aerobics.
Weekday mornings from 7 a.m. to 7:30 a.m. Don't hesitate. Act now, because your greatest wealth is your health.
In news from the region now, former Brazilian President Lula da Silva has been sentenced to nearly 10 years for corruption. Lula was found guilty of money laundering and accepting more than $1 million in bribes. Lula has consistently protested his innocence, calling the trial a political witch hunt. Here's more.
Former Brazilian President Lula da Silva has been sentenced to nearly 10 years for corruption. Lula was found guilty of money laundering and accepting more than $1 million in bribes. Lula has consistently protested his innocence, calling the trial a political witch hunt. News of Lula's conviction triggered celebrations by his detractors as well as protests by his supporters. Both groups took to the opposite sides of Sao Paulo's main avenue. The graft conviction for Brazil's former president is the highest profile one yet in the country's widening political corruption probe. This is what Lula's lawyer had to say about the verdict.
I had a quick conversation with former President Lula, and he is very calm. But like any person who has been convicted without proof, who has been convicted despite having proved his innocence, there is a natural indignation of an innocent person faced with this ridiculous situation.
And internationally, individuals Donald Trump associated with at the 2013 Miss Universe pageant in Moscow have resurfaced in light of an email chain involving Donald Trump Jr. and a Russian lawyer. C News has more.
From Moscow, it's Miss Universe 2013.
Thank you to Aras Agalarov and the focus group for their amazing hospitality and support.
And of course, the big man on campus, Donald Trump.
Through an empty sky, to the dark unknown.
Evan, wake up. Come on, you're fired.
And now for the weather report. And that's Channel 2 Headline News for this Thursday evening. As we take our leave, we invite you to find Channel 2 Headline News on Facebook, YouTube, and SafeTVGuyana.com. You can also tune in tomorrow morning at 6:30 for a rebroadcast, and Friday evening at 6 o'clock for more news. For now, I'm George Gonzalez, signing out from this newscast, saying thank you for welcoming us into your homes, and do have a blessed evening.